The Americans with Disabilities Act, or ADA, sets requirements for switch and receptacle heights to ensure accessibility. These requirements are often incorporated into building codes such as the International Building Code, or IBC, and the National Fire Protection Association 70, otherwise known as the National Electrical Code. For switches, the minimum height is 48 inches, or 1219 millimeters from the finished floor to the operating handle. The maximum height for switches is 54 inches, or 1372 millimeters from the finished floor to the operating handle. For receptacles, the minimum height is 15 inches, or 381 millimeters from the finished floor to the top of the receptacle. The maximum height for receptacles is 48 inches, or 1219 millimeters from the finished floor to the top of the receptacle. There are some exceptions to these rules. Firstly, in certain cases, such as kitchens and bathrooms, the minimum height for receptacles might be lower than 15 inches. Secondly, in multi-family dwellings, the maximum height for receptacles may be higher in certain areas than 48 inches. It is important to note that these requirements can be subject to local and state building codes, which may have specific variations. It is always recommended to consult the applicable building codes and consult with a licensed electrician or architect to ensure compliance. The National Electrical Code, specifically in Article 210.52, addresses receptacle placement in dwelling units, ensuring convenience and accessibility. It mandates the receptacle outlets be installed so that no point along the floor line of any wall space is more than 6 feet, or 1.8 meters, measured horizontally from an outlet in that space. This effectively means that receptacles should be placed no more than 12 feet, or 3.6 meters, apart. This rule is designed to minimize the use of extension cords, which can be a safety hazard. Countertop receptacles in kitchens are also addressed in Article 210.52 of the NEC. Receptacles must be installed at each countertop wall space that is 12 inches, or 300 millimeters, or wider. No point along the countertop wall space may be more than 24 inches, or 600 millimeters, measured horizontally from a receptacle outlet in that space. Island and peninsula countertops that are 24 inches, or 600 millimeters, or wider, also require at least one receptacle. These receptacles should be located within the countertop or within 12 inches, or 300 millimeters, below the countertop. In bathrooms, at least one receptacle outlet must be installed within 36 inches, or 900 millimeters, of the outside edge of each basin. The receptacle must be located on a wall or partition that is adjacent to the basin countertop or basin. This receptacle must also be ground fault circuit interrupter, or GFCI, protected. The NEC also provides guidelines for receptacle placement in other areas of the home, such as hallways, stairways, and outdoor spaces. These requirements are intended to ensure that receptacles are readily accessible and safely installed. The ADA standards and the NEC are complementary. The ADA focuses on accessibility for individuals with disabilities, while the NEC focuses on electrical safety and convenience for all occupants. Adhering to both sets of standards ensures that electrical installations are both safe and accessible. When installing switches and receptacles, it's crucial to consider the specific needs of the users and the environment in which they will be used. For example, in homes with elderly residents or individuals with mobility impairments, it may be beneficial to install switches and receptacles at heights that are easier to reach. In commercial settings, it's important to ensure that electrical installations comply with both ADA standards and local building codes. Consulting with a qualified electrician or architect can help ensure compliance and prevent potential safety hazards. Regular inspections and maintenance of electrical systems are also essential to ensure that they continue to meet safety and accessibility standards. Damaged or malfunctioning switches and receptacles should be repaired or replaced promptly. In addition to height requirements, the ADA also addresses other aspects of accessibility for electrical components. For example, switches and receptacles should be operable with one hand and should not require tight grasping, pinching, or twisting of the wrist. This is to ensure that individuals with limited hand dexterity can easily use them. The force required to activate switches should also be minimal. The NEC provides detailed guidelines for the proper installation of electrical boxes, wiring, and grounding systems. These guidelines are intended to prevent electrical shocks, fires, and other hazards. It's important to follow these guidelines carefully to ensure the safety of occupants. When selecting electrical components, it's important to choose products that are listed and labeled by a recognized testing laboratory such as Underwriters Laboratories or UL. These products have been tested to meet safety standards and are more likely to perform reliably. In addition to the NEC and ADA, local building codes may have additional requirements for electrical installations. It's important to check with the local building department to ensure that all applicable codes are followed. Failure to comply with building codes can result in fines, delays, and other penalties. It can also create safety hazards that could put occupants at risk. Proper planning and design are essential for ensuring that electrical installations meet both safety and accessibility standards. Working with a qualified electrician or architect can help ensure that all aspects of the installation are properly addressed. This includes selecting the right components, placing them in the optimal locations, and ensuring that they are properly installed and grounded. Regular training and education are also important for electricians and other professionals who work with electrical systems. Staying up to date on the latest codes, standards, and best practices can help prevent errors and ensure that installations are safe and compliant. In summary, adhering to ADA requirements for switch and receptacle heights is crucial for ensuring accessibility in buildings. These requirements, along with other accessibility guidelines, are designed to make buildings more usable for individuals with disabilities. The NEC provides detailed guidelines for the safe installation of electrical systems, while local building codes may have additional requirements. Consulting with qualified professionals and staying up to date on the latest codes and standards are essential for ensuring that electrical installations are both safe and accessible. Remember to always prioritize safety when working with electrical systems. To energize circuits before working on them, use appropriate personal protective equipment, and follow all applicable codes and standards. Electrical safety is everyone's responsibility. Furthermore, when dealing with specific applications, such as healthcare facilities or educational institutions, additional considerations may apply. For instance, in healthcare settings, there may be specific requirements for the placement of receptacles in patient care areas to ensure easy access for medical equipment. In schools, there may be requirements for tamper-resistant receptacles to prevent children from inserting objects into them. Tamper-resistant receptacles have internal shutters that prevent access to the electrical contacts unless a two-prong plug is inserted. These receptacles are designed to reduce the risk of electrical shock, particularly for young children. The NEC requires tamper-resistant receptacles in dwelling units and childcare facilities. When planning electrical installations, it's also important to consider the future needs of the building. Will the building be used for the same purpose in the future? Will the electrical load increase? These are important questions to consider when designing an electrical system. It's often a good idea to install extra capacity to accommodate future needs. This can save time and money in the long run. Surge protection is another important consideration for electrical installations. Surges can damage electronic equipment and cause fires. Surge protective devices, or SPDs, can protect equipment from surges by diverting excess voltage to ground. The NEC requires surge protection in certain applications such as dwelling units and critical facilities. Grounding is a critical aspect of electrical safety. A properly grounded electrical system provides a path for fault current to flow back to the source, tripping a circuit breaker or fuse and energizing the circuit. This helps to prevent electrical shock and fire hazards. The NEC provides detailed requirements for grounding electrical systems. Arc fault circuit interrupters, or ASIs, are another important safety device. ASIs detect arc faults, which are dangerous electrical conditions that can cause fires. When an arc fault is detected, the ASI trips the circuit breaker and energizes the circuit. The NEC requires ASIs in dwelling units in most branch circuits that supply outlets and devices. Lighting control systems can also improve energy efficiency and enhance the usability of a building. These systems can be used to dim lights, turn them on and off automatically, and adjust them based on occupancy or time of day. Lighting control systems can also be integrated with building automation systems to provide centralized control and monitoring of lighting throughout the building. Regular maintenance of electrical systems is essential for ensuring their safety and reliability. This includes inspecting wiring, connections, and devices for damage or wear, testing ground fault circuit interrupters and arc fault circuit interrupters, and cleaning electrical equipment. A qualified electrician can perform these tasks and identify potential problems before they become serious hazards. Furthermore, energy efficiency should be a key consideration in any electrical installation. Using energy-efficient lighting, appliances, and equipment can significantly reduce energy consumption and lower utility bills. Energy-efficient products are often labeled with the Energy Star logo. The NEC also includes requirements for energy-efficient electrical installations. These requirements are designed to reduce energy consumption and promote sustainable building practices. Renewable energy sources, such as solar panels and wind turbines, can also be integrated into electrical systems to reduce reliance on fossil fuels. These systems can generate electricity on site and reduce the amount of electricity that must be purchased from the utility grid. Net metering allows building owners to sell excess electricity back to the utility grid. The NEC includes requirements for the safe installation of renewable energy systems. Smart home technology is becoming increasingly popular. Smart home devices can be used to control lighting, appliances, and other electrical equipment remotely. These devices can also be integrated with building automation systems to provide centralized control and monitoring of the entire home. The NEC includes requirements for the safe installation of smart home devices. In conclusion, electrical installations are complex systems that require careful planning, design, and installation. Adhering to ADA requirements, the NEC, and local building codes is essential for ensuring safety, accessibility, and energy efficiency. Consulting with qualified professionals and staying up to date on the latest codes and standards are crucial for success. Remember to always prioritize safety when working with electrical systems and to follow all applicable codes and standards.